The following podcast is scheduled for one fall with no time limit.
Super hot fire!
The greatest spectacle in podcast entertainment, Mr. Nestlemania.
That was literally verbal diarrhea. I'm setting the bar awfully low. Titus O'Neil keeps running directly into that bar. Get him off my TV, get him off my TV. You make me very angry.
The man who has a better IQ than you, the awe-inspiring JC.
You should go work for WWE because you'd be so up far up Vince's butt.
No.
Oh, you are such a sucker.
You
You
are.
defend everything, all the bad moves they make.
This is the Jobber Knocker Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker Podcast. As always, it's Nestlemania. Alongside for the ride is JC. We have finally gotten through money. We're
bankrupt, bitch!
We're bankrupt, bitch. Well, one of us is not bankrupt. But that's beside the point. Anyway, we got into Money in the Bank this weekend. It was very interesting to me because part of it was, I thought, very good, and then part of it was meh.
Yeah, it seemed like
not so
overall,
great.
once again, a good wrestling show, but for me, it wasn't. It's one of those things similar to the show that also ended on Sunday. It's like, a lot of the end games don't particularly have an issue with. It's just how we got there just wasn't great and didn't do enough storytelling along the way to really pull me in. But yeah, let's get into it.
Usos had a really decent match against
Who
the
won
Planet.
the predictions, Adam?
I'm sorry, I totally forgot that.
I believe Joe tallied them, and I believe the one and only winner was an experience of JC.
I'm sorry, guys. I have so much to do. Sometimes I forget.
The Planet's prediction champions, except for I don't lose to people who aren't on my show.
Why
and
wasn't I
aren't champions.
tagged in anything?
Oh, no, he sent it in like our group. I
Oh.
did not read the thread.
I
He said he thinks, and it sounds right because I know I was the only one who picked the Usos.
I'm sorry, guys. I've had such a busy week. I
picked
can't even remotely.
Charlotte.
Guthrie used to do the updates as the matches happened, which was so much better.
See how it is. You're just like, oh, I can't let JC.
No, I'll go back and I'll put them out. That's my fault. I completely forgot about them. My
I was
life has been
curious,
busy, man.
curious, yeah.
But anyway, we get into the Usos have a great match against the Planet Tag Team Champions. They win. I thought it was fun. It was interesting that both of the Usos, as well as Daniel Bryan, were on the pre-show. But you know what? It is what it is. People
Wasn't
were
for the
complaining.
title. Who cares?
People were complaining.
Next.
Interesting. Now we get to the Women's Money in the Bank match. Which
Always in the shine. Mandy
Oh,
Rose,
boy.
great showing in this match.
You got to talk about Sonya.
I mean, Sonya was great too, carrying up the ladder like a true friend should. Like, best pairing, like Ember Moon had the best spot in the match with that Eclipse. Woo, Nelly! That
There's
was
no
good.
Nelly in this match.
Yeah, it was on Natty. Nelly Natty.
No, Nelly and Natty are two different people.
And then Bayley won.
Here's the thing. I was surprised that Bayley won. Didn't
Which
think that was
honestly,
going to happen.
at that point, I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, I was like, Bayley's definitely contender. Her carrying around the briefcase for a while would be really interesting.
For 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a little bit. But you can't. So we were talking about not having stories. I thought there was a nice little story in there with Mandy Rose kicking out the knee of Carmella.
Yep.
Carmella came back in, and now they've got some type of feud on Twitter.
Internet feud? Love the internet feud.
Yeah, to me, I was like, you know what? Out of something that was nothing in terms of anything, it became something that I'm interested in.
It's crazy. Like the ladder, things like ladder matches and rumbles give you an opportunity to create new feuds.
Sure.
And they did that with like a second tier women's feud, which is good.
Yeah.
It'll get convoluted by wild card and everything else though, but
Yep.
we'll get to that later.
Absolutely. But I mean, I got to say special shout out to them because I thought it was a nice surprise that she won, Bayley, and I thought it was a great thing between Carmella as well as Mandy Rose. I feel like a lot of people got highlighted, even Sonya, who wasn't really technically in the match. I thought there was a lot of great stuff going on there. So honestly, I enjoyed that match
I thought
very
it was
much.
a solid match.
Then we get to something that was, well, I just didn't expect it. Was Rey Mysterio wins the United States Championship by accident, or not by accident, but by whatever.
And then he had an accident, and now he's out for 6 weeks, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's injured.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why they said next week they have to address the U.S. title. Cause,
Again?
yeah, he's probably going to have to give it up. That's why Samoa Joe had that promo.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, it looks like Booyaka 619 might be
So,
out 619 weeks.
Here leads into something that I'm sure I'm going to lose my goddamn mind on. But this is the first match, I believe, in which the referee saw our shoulders up on Joe. And here's the thing. They showed a replay where the referee was literally in position and you could see him watching the shoulder up and still counting. And I was thinking to myself, like, at the very least, guy, just turn your head and be like focusing on one shoulder, or like try to like see like you can't get around the big body of Joe to see what happens. But the fact that they showed the replay of it, of the angle that you shouldn't have shown, was terrible. And that's not the first time we get to it,
Yeah, we're
folks.
like, oh, maybe they're doing this on purpose, but guess when it got addressed? Never!
Yeah, it got me so hot. It got me so hot, Josh. Who the fuck is Josh? I know. But
Yeah.
JC, it got me hot. I'm telling you right now, it was something that I really just, like we talk about how the NBA refs blow calls. We talk about how NFL refs blow calls. Any referee really blowing calls.
Yeah, it's part of the human element of
Right.
it.
But we did not address it. We didn't talk about it. I had the perfect setup.
And
I said
some
on
of them
Twitter.
seemed like they were on purpose. That's why it was so befuddling.
Yeah. Most of these were technically on purpose is what people are saying.
Yeah.
So it's just, why not address it? Why not make something out of it? I would prefer that.
Because we're too busy wild carding in 24/7.
Let's not even talk about
we'll get
that
to that
again.
later. Shane beats Miz again. Thoughts?
I thought it was a shitty cage match, but the ending.
Shocker. Oh, shocker. A cage match wasn't good. Consider me fucking shocked.
But I will say the ending colored me surprised a little bit. I was like, you know what? He slipped out from his shirt. I have not seen that. So
It was par for the course in the feud again. Fine
Yeah.
end result. I remember I got home as this match started from my drive from Maine, and I was just like, oh man, they're really pulling
It was
me
too
in.
much. It was too much.
They're really pulling me. No,
It was too much.
no. Next.
Well, never mind. I just want to say very quickly. Here's the other thing too: is that Shane puts the foot on the rope, which they already stated
you're
in the
a fucking
match.
steel cage match.
It doesn't. Rope breaks
Yeah.
don't matter, and the referee called it. The crowd went fucking bananas about
they
it.
should.
So again, the referee blows another call, which again could have been in the matchup and in what the way they said it. But again, it would have been nice to have the authority address it the next night with a bunch of the referees. Having a referee, rally or whatever you want to talk about backstage would be great.
Yeah.
Having a town hall meeting with just the referees would have been fantastic to be like, dude, you all suck. Here's what we need to be doing and better of. Like, just 5 seconds would have been great.
Yep.
And then the piss break or popcorn fart, Tony Nese
Hey,
beats.
that entrance for Arya
Oh,
Daivari
yeah.
was
The BMW was
fucking
great.
awesome.
But the match nobody cared about. Didn't matter. The match does not matter.
It did matter. It was for a title, and it seemed like a competitive match. It's not there. You put them on a different show where people don't get to see them unless if they go and watch on the network. So of course, when you put out two guys that people aren't familiar
Yeah,
with,
they're just gonna
the
do
crowd's
whatever.
going to be like whatever. That's not the performer's fault.
No, it's not.
It's the fault of
it
the way
sucks.
they do it.
It sucks.
It was kind of cool that they were on the main card for once. It was weird that this was the match that got them on the main card, and not some like the Buddy Murphy ones or whatever. But whatever.
Buddy Murphy
It is
gets
what
no
it is.
respect. No respect, Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, he's the best kept secret that hasn't been on SmackDown yet because wild card.
Becky versus Lacey. Hold on. First off, the hat and the
guns, baby. If you come out and shoot money with your own
yeah.
face in it, you're like that life goals. Like that
Yeah.
literally like I want to be Lacey Evans when I grow up. Lacey Evans might be my favorite character in the entire company right now, not named Baron Corbin. I fucking love her. She is so fucking perfect. Oh, it's great. Everything she does, I'm just like, this is fucking awesome. I just can't help it. I'm just sitting there like just popping in popcorn like every time she's on screen. It's great.
Honey.
It's just
Honey.
great. It's authentic.
Honey. She's not authentic about the Southern, but it's funny.
It's great. I love it.
I was sold on the hat. I was like, wow, what a hat. And then she
That's a
pulls
great
out the
hat.
guns. I look at Nicole because she's stuck watching it with me. And I looked at Nicole. I'm like, she's stealing my bit. She's stealing my bit. But that's fine. It's not my bit anymore. But it was so funny. And then, like, here's the thing that makes me kind of like, I was LOLing a little bit, was the handkerchief spot. She pulls it out.
Yeah.
And fucking, I was like,
She rubbed her face, then rubbed her armpit, then rubbed her face, and then rubbed it in back. It's just like,
yeah, not
okay.
very Southerny.
Yeah, not very
Cleanly.
classy.
Yeah.
But what I didn't mind the little touch of it. It was just like the order that she did. I was just kind of like, ewy, because first of all, it came out of her pants.
Yeah.
So
And there's other stuff like she
Hey.
slipped. Yeah, she slipped through the ropes and like really hurt herself on the way out. There were like a lot of things I was like, okay, I'll forgive that.
I enjoyed the match overall,
Yeah.
except for the finish was kind of like weak sauce.
Yeah, I mean the ref may
Weak
have
sauce.
screwed up. I don't know. Like it might have been another thing too, where she's like the referees were where they were.
It was awkward.
Yeah.
It's just like, what is this? Who is this benefiting and why are we doing it? And then it's like, okay, well, maybe this is like a part of your saying, like the overarching theme of the show.
Sure.
And it's going to be addressed on Monday or Tuesday.
Never addressed.
Nope.
Just
Who
address
cares?
it. This was a built-in segment where I was like actually looking forward to it. It's like the referees kept screwing up.
Yeah,
Then let me
no, I loved it.
let them do something with it. But
you know,
great.
But you know what was good after this? I love Charlotte coming out immediately. This is what I wanted. I'm like, you know what? Double champion, make her fight back to back.
Yeah.
Like even like just however they do it, I'm like, that's the way you book this is perfect for Charlotte. Whoever gets whatever she wants, anyways, to have that match first and then fucking waltz out. It's great. And then Lacey interfered. People didn't love it, but again, it made sense. Lacey's like, well, I didn't win mine, but I'm still gonna cost you yours because we're not done, bitch.
Yeah.
Like it's great. I thought it was perfect until they had Bailey cash in, and I was just like,
Panic.
I just don't. They did it last year with Alexa.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind that one because it made sense.
Sure.
But this one, like with Bailey, it's just, what was the biggest issue when they called up Bailey to the main roster?
They hot-shotted
They
her.
hot-shotted
Yeah.
her. So here we go. We're trying to rebuild Bailey, finally. And she has a couple weeks of good momentum. Then she's off TV. And now she's in this match and she wins. It's like, okay, cool. This will be interesting. This can be part of her development. It'll be cool having her grow up there. Her with the back and forth and Becky. And now her with the back and forth with Charlotte. It's like two people that she's come up with. This is compelling shit. But then, no. Hot shot, baby. Yeah. Not yeah, though. Nah.
Nah.
Again, like for that moment, like that 30 seconds, like you're going to get a crowd pop. Of course. Crowd's always going to pop like champion. Woo, yay. But it's just, why? Why are we sacrificing this stuff for immediate shock and awe? Because now it's going to be like, already on SmackDown, I'm like, well, the Bailey era kind of is boring me already.
Really?
Yeah, like what has she done?
Well, she just started.
Tag team match. Holla, holla, holla.
I will say they are padding those Charlotte stats, though.
Honestly, I love that because
9.
people hate it so much.
9.
Because she goes on Twitter and she's just like, I'm playing checkers when you're all playing chess. Like, it's the lawn game, baby. She's just, again, I just love it. I love that stuff on social media.
She's going to get to 16 before 2020.
I
feels
love
like
it.
that.
I love it because it gets people so mad. And it's good. It's why I fucking love Baron Corbin. It's just like taking that heat and being like, yeah, fuck you. I am the best. I'm going to do whatever I want. I don't literally care what you think. I care about me. I care about my stats. I'm going to be daddy's girl. I'm going to break his goddamn record. I'm going to do it before John Cena does it. I'm fucking the best. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it.
I don't know what I feel about Bailey, though, because I was excited that she won. When she cashed in, I went, no.
I'm happy for Bailey, but when she cashed in, it's just like, God damn it. It's just like,
You could have waited. You could
Yeah.
have waited. I think it would have been great.
let it linger.
Do you have to? Do you have to?
You don't have to. It'd just
Do
be
you
better
have
if you
to
did.
Let it linger. Sorry. Had to get it out.
Great jam.
You know that.
Of course I do.
Yeah.
I know all the hits.
Sure you do.
Yeah.
And but look, Bailey wins. Now she's the champion. But like, are people hoping Sasha comes back? Like, what do they have
Sasha's
in the
on
chamber?
Raw.
Well, they don't. The wild card.
She's on Raw.
Doesn't matter. Wild card, bitches.
I don't know. That's why I didn't love it. Because, like, Becky's still going to pop. Becky on WWE.com is still a SmackDown superstar, but she's the Raw champ. But we thought
Because they had it advertised, is what everybody on Twitter was telling me. So
that thing is such fake news. They're doing
Subject
this,
to change
they're
is on the
doing
card,
this because
man.
they're trying to figure out ways to make Fox and USA happy when they do it. That's the reason. The way they do that with the fucking advertised shit, you can put them in a dark match. It doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with it. Sorry, those people are wrong.
Wrong.
It's a small factor, but it's not the reason. The reason is because Vince wants Roman on both shows. He wants to put his stars on both shows. Apparently, Sami Zayn's one of the biggest stars. He's been the wild card guy every week, too.
It's true.
But we're not there yet.
Elias attacks Roman Reigns from behind with a smashing guitar. Nobody in the hallway absolutely tells Roman Reigns that a guitar is coming to hit him. I love that portion of it. The sense of that is next to
I
none.
don't care. I loved everything about this.
Then the electric I loved. I thought it was an out-of-body experience for me. I was like, look at him playing electric. I would prefer electric over acoustic, actually. It sounds fantastic. And then, of course, Roman comes out, gets his shit
Awesome.
back.
I loved it.
Boom.
It was perfect.
It made
It was
perfect sense.
It should. Elias has never been a serious player. I love Elias. And this whole thing was like, this feud wasn't about Elias and Roman. It was about Roman's really good and Shane's trying to screw him. Elias was kind of there. This whole feud Elias was just a sideshow. So yeah, Roman should come out and kick the shit out of him. That was perfectly believable. I had no issue with this. They redid it on SmackDown. Roman put over Elias huge. We'll talk about that, whatever. But like this, in terms of booking, like this made sense. I had no issue with this.
Then we get the Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles in the the Universal Championship. I was going to say WWE, but
Spot of the year in this match so far? That was a pretty fucking good spot.
I wouldn't say spot of the year because I believe
What
so
was
far that the ladder match, watching that sunset flip on that ladder, really is something that's ingrained in my head.
No,
I would
it's
say
good, but I don't know.
counter of the year, maybe counter.
That move was just whoo. That sequence was whoo.
It was good. It was fantastic. A lot of varying offense from both guys. I thought it was one of those things that they changed up a little bit where it was like, you already knew I was going to do this, so I'll change this, change that. That was a nice little story here and there. Like they were like, oh, they studied each other's tape even though they haven't wrestled each other 15 years. I really appreciated that kind of stuff. The storytelling and that was great. By the way, like just the commentary in this match particularly was very good. The rest of the night drove me fucking nuts because they kept saying that Carmelo was looking to three-peat. If you look up the definition of three-peating, it means that you win, then the next year you win, then the next year you win. It's not that you win the first two matches, you wait a year, and then the next year you win another. That is not a three-peat. And they even said it on SmackDown. I was just like, you guys are the stupidest fucking people I've ever met in my life. Read a fucking book. Seriously, crack open a book, crack open that spine, look at a fucking book, a dictionary, anything. Three-peat. 3 means 3.
I I agree.
Pete means repeat.
Yeah, you're not
Sorry.
wrong.
Anyway,
You're
but this match, getting back to AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. Rollins and AJ went back and forth, and I thought that it was very slow moving at the beginning and the middle. We had a conversation with our boy TJ. Check out TJ of the JK for all his NXT needs. And so we were talking about that, how it was just it wasn't getting anywhere. It wasn't bad, but it was just like they really kicked it into that sixth gear really quickly in the last 5-10 minutes of that match. It was really a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. So that's what I got to say about that.
Yeah, I got nothing to add. Lars!
The Lord! When I saw the Lucha House Party come out, I was like,
here comes Lars!
I was so glad it was not 6-man tag action, because I was like, first off, it's for me, I hate 6-man tags, obviously.
Lars is the destroyer of everything we hate.
It's true.
Geriatrics and 6-man tags.
It's true.
He's our savior.
Lars has been sent here from Planet Flafluga to make sure that you are all in the Warth Bar. Like, I just love it. I was just like, piano, ding, ding, and then he comes out and he's just like, bang, bang. I wish his entrance was a little bit more menacing. I feel like the light should shut off again and just have him.
Maybe
or the
when
solo.
he actually wrestles, they'll
Sure.
get back to the silhouette thing.
Yeah,
that was cool too.
yeah, whatever.
But I mean, he literally now is just a run in and kill guy.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I just wish the presentation was a little bit more menacing. That's all.
I agree.
It's an A- getting to an A+ at some point, hopefully, after a sensitivity training. Going on
A lot
to
of sensitivity training.
going on to the WWE Championship as Kofi Kingston beat KO in a match that was kind of feeling very regular. Don't feel like it was really anything that I'll remember.
Yeah, a little disappointed because I had high expectations, but whatever.
They do a no shoe, and I thought to myself, who throws a shoe? Honestly, who throws a shoe? Then we get to a point which I thought to me was probably my favorite part of the entire evening, which was the men's Money in the Bank. Orton just throwing suplexes on the table. Oh, he could have done that all day. The crowd was eating out of the palm of his hand, and I was just like, yep, yep. It was great. And then
hold on. Moment of silence for Finn's back. That motherfucker took the 3 hardest spots in the match. Finn, we love you. We appreciate you. You're the heavyweight. You're the best.
Stop.
You did a great job. Just that's your Intercontinental Champion sacrificing himself for the good of the match and making everyone look like $1 million.
See, the sunset powerbomb off the ladder was the craziest shit I've seen in a long time. And I said, there's no other guys in that match would have, maybe Ali, but besides that, I don't think there's anybody in that match that would have taken that spot.
Oh, no,
and I was just like, oh, and just the rebounds, the bounce of it, just the reverb of it was just like, holy shit, was it fun to watch. They're stupid for doing it, but it was just thank you for the enjoyment.
Little stops. Corbin looked great.
Yeah, everybody.
My man.
Everybody, even the Mac looked good for a little bit. It was just all over the place.
It was a very good match. And then the one thing I will say about this is I've always liked Mustafa Ali.
Sure.
But this match, I was really man, I really love Ali. Mm-hmm. And I think when it happened, the part that you joked about at the end, when it happened, it made you even more of an Ali guy.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar put over Mustafa Ali by dumping him off the ladder and taking the briefcase.
I could be talked into that. Here's something else. So everybody that doesn't clearly be part of our thread or anything, I was just thinking about it, and I jokingly said in our thread, I said, okay, so Sami Zayn's upside down. Is it Bray Wyatt? Because he looked like he was in a reverse cross, and I thought, maybe not. But as the night went on, I actually texted somebody, and I was like, oh, God. It's going to be Lesnar. And then I forget who it was in the thread, and they're like, you shut your mouth right now. And then, of course, LOLs and LMFOs were literally the second he comes out. But it was just odd to me. It was just so Ali's grabbing the briefcase, and it's just dun, dun. He's just sitting there. He's like, I'm like,
oh, shit.
Just look up and you would have won. It was just it didn't make any, I know dramatic wise, but it was just
it's like the deer in headlights, for effect. I honestly, as unrealistic as that is,
sure.
That's something I don't have a problem with because it's for dramatic effect, so I'm fine with it.
See, I thought it was a little.
And when Brock fucking grabbed that briefcase, I would everyone else was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" But now this is coming off the Game of Thrones finale, so I was already in full depression, upset mode. So when this happened, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
But honestly, it just it's short-sighted. I loved it, but long term, it's not good.
Oh no, but
especially
it's funny
because of what they're gonna do next week to ruin it. But when we transition here to the Shine, there's only one way to start. Are we transitioning to the Shine?
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Oh no! Roar!
There you go. You don't even know your own segments.
Brock pretending the briefcase is a boombox is the greatest thing of all time, and the people on the internet just taking any song imaginable. And Baby Shark, Brie Mode,
oh,
Spice Girls, having this is the happiest and most fun Brock has had in a long time. And I love that version of Brock. It reminds me, like, man, I truly deep down am a Brock Lesnar guy.
Sure.
It's just like what they have made him become and the part-time shit was just so upsetting. But like Money in the Bank Brock Lesnar, it's like he's living his best life.
Yeah.
Like that, like this is the Brock I love because I like remembers like yeah, Brock is just he's having fun, he's enjoying it. But again, I think this is gonna be really like a short term because after that opening segment, I didn't really like anything. But the fucking that shit, like I like the face out with Rollins and Kofi kick off the show. I'm fine with that. Positive wild card development doesn't happen too often, but in this case it worked.
All right, so here's the thing that I enjoyed about it is that Brock wins, and I just LOL'd all over it. I was just like, this is so great. And I love when the internet gets upset. It's so much fun for me. But the thing that I enjoy about it is that people are complaining about Brock Lesnar having the championship or Brock Lesnar having the Money in the Bank contract. But the problem is, yes, we know the end result isn't going to be good because we know that Brock will eventually probably cash in and win, which is whatever. But imagine if Brock Lesnar cashes in and loses. Imagine, I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but imagine if that does, what that does for the champion that still beats Brock Lesnar, even though our insurmountable odds are against them. If that was Kofi Kingston, his stock goes through the motherfucking roof. Yeah. If it's Seth Rollins, it solidifies what we already know. It's going to do one of those things. Now, granted, that's probably not going to happen, but there is a possibility, probably a 5% possibility that it may happen. The other thing that makes me really enjoy the Brock Lesnar or the Beast in the Bank, let's think about it this way, because I think this is great. Boombox aside, which is great. So, looking like he's bringing back the old 1980s, hanging outside, playing a fucking pickup basketball game with his boys in Minnesota, playing
so
the whitest.
White and nerdy,
yes,
I love it.
It's the whitest boy you know.
God,
but
great.
God, it's so funny. And then so here's the other thing that I really enjoy. The Money in the Bank briefcase, whether you like it or not, is most likely a heel thing, right?
Yes.
So the best part about that is that the heel is always lurking. The heel is always in your mind. And that guy, without the Money in the Bank briefcase, already has space in your head, regardless of the situation or anything else. But because he's got the briefcase, now his intent is there to be in your head. And I appreciate that so much more where I'm like, yes. And I hope next week he doesn't say anything. Because if he does, that's going to suck. But we get to that whole portion of he's a villain. He's a villain in a world where nobody wants him to be. And that's appreciative to me because I look at it and go, no one is going to cheer him except me and you because we're going to be laughing. But we're not really cheering about it. We're just having a good time.
Yeah, because it's just that's why that opening segment was good. It was compelling.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Sure.
That's a positive way to do it. It's just they literally announced that next week he's going to announce Money in the Bank.
He's not.
Plans.
I hope he's not.
That's not the fucking point. If not, you're just doing Strowman
Sure.
all over again.
Sure.
That was the worst one ever.
But here's the other thing.
Don't do that.
Here's the other
Shame,
thing. Very
WWE. Don't do it. Don't do it.
The best villains in anything, whether it's television, movies, wrestling, comic books, whatever your genre is, the best villains, in my opinion, aren't the ones that the superhero fight every single time. The ones that are there all the time. Brock Lesnar is the best villain that you can have because he shows up,
he's fucking Bowser.
You know shit is on. He is the level boss. He is the one that you go to fight, that you have the privilege to fight. And they've built him in a way where I look at it and go, yeah, this dude sits on a throne for a reason. You know what I mean? I love it because it makes so much more sense. I'm not going to love the result, but if the journey is long enough and well done, I will appreciate it so much more because this is a guy that doesn't have to show up every week.
Nope.
But there's that thrill of he could be. He could be doing that.
He needs to hold this until Fox. Because
Absolutely.
When he does show up, we need the teases.
Sure.
So that's the only beyond that. I'm just scared they're gonna ruin it next week. I'm horrified they're gonna ruin it next week.
No, I get it. But it's just I am so in on this, and I'll talk about my prepared hope this week that I'm even more excited about this particular instance. So there you go. There's a tease.
We've gone too long without sounding the alarms. Pew, 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 pew. Revival got an entrance.
Oh, that's what we're talking about?
They got an entrance, and Adam?
Who the fuck is Adam?
You're Adam Nestlemania.
I'm Nestlemania. There's a difference.
You're Nestlemania.
Who the fuck?
That match was super hot fire. I hope Vince and everyone in the back who does not respect tag team wrestling saw that match and saw how it went from started, people not, by the end of the match, everyone was so into it. It was just, it was so good. It was just if it was fists versus kicks, all that, they had everything. They had spots. They had the back and forth. They had the psychology. Oh my God. And guess what? The Revival won.
I know.
They won like they should in a fucking shit-eating heel way.
Yeah.
Like, this was perfect. This was, like, the perfect thing of perfect. This match was built. They didn't give it away early. It made sense. It was something that paid off. The Revival were technically, like, playing the roles as baby faces, even though they're heels, and the Usos are playing the roles as heels by doing the shaven back. But, like, when you get to it, it's like the Revival got their comeuppance, even though they're the heels. Like, this is a way where if you're going to do that, like, reverse, like, Bizarro World, this is the way to do it. It was just... this fucking tag match, because they let them just wrestle. They got 2.5 segments, whatever it was. It was fucking beautiful. It was the happiest I've been watching Raw in a very long time. Like, I was in a state of bliss watching this. Like, if someone came in and tried to talk to me, be like, not now, Chief, I'm in the fucking zone.
Wow, that's a
I
reference.
rewatched this, too, when I got home.
Wow.
I
What a
loved everything
nerd.
about it, because just... what if we talked about them just dropping the ball with tag team wrestling, dropping it, and like this, they finally let it. They didn't need titles. They didn't need any of that. It's just, they're just two teams that people are invested in that are good, that have good chemistry, that like working together, that just like being out there in front of a crowd, and it was fucking beautiful. Super shine of the week.
Super shine of the week. Wow. Okay. All right. I had a lot of fun watching Ricochet and Cesaro. I thought that was a great match
too.
as well. There were a lot of great things that I thought. AJ and Baron. I thought, like, having that promo backstage, I was like, ooh,
I like that.
I'm interested in these kind of things. Like, you get into a point of like, okay, like you know, this is good. I mean,
What do all those things have in common?
they're new.
No. They have nothing to do with the wild card. They are Raw exclusive. Know why? Because you can actually build a story. Because it's not like, wild card, bitches. It was
It's
like,
true.
oh, those two tag teams, Raw tag teams. Those two superstars, Cesaro and Ricochet, Raw superstars. Corbin, AJ, Raw superstars.
Yeah.
And it's the most interesting stuff
Yeah.
to me. What else you got?
Well, there's so much going on through my head because I don't think there's a lot less that I want to talk about on Raw specifically. I don't think there's anything there.
Yeah, it's more, a lot of my stuff left on Raw is like a mix.
Yeah, it's not really that great.
It's a mix. It's
I
like
thought
half shine, half heat.
There were a lot of things on SmackDown that I was like, meh, whatever. But
I didn't like SmackDown this week.
but
I didn't.
there are some things in here that are.
Ale Andrade.
Oh yeah,
love
that was
that.
real. That was probably, to me, that was the best match of the week. Non-Money in the Bank.
Number 3 for me. Not Money in the Bank. I thought the 2 Raw matches were better.
Really?
I love this match too. I love all 3. All 3 are fucking great. And again, what show are both these superstars on, Adam?
They're
At
prepared.
WrestleMania?
Who the fuck is that?
SmackDown
Live.
Live Superstars fighting SmackDown Live Superstars. By far the best part of the show. The only part of the show I really truly love, besides always in the Shine Mandy Rose being on the show. I love
Oh,
that part.
boy,
but
Jesus.
We're not talking about that now, but yeah.
Okay.
Why? What else you got?
Well, you know, that's pretty much it, I think, because the rest of it, I was just like,
Tweeners.
There's
Like, because if
some
we
other
look
stuff.
at it, if you want to mention it, like the Sami Zayn promo on SmackDown,
Yeah.
fucking fire.
Yeah, it was
I love
good.
that Big E's actually back. I enjoyed Kofi Zayn, I guess, overall. And honestly, I will say, like, I know you're not a big Ziggler guy, but I love that as the surprise thing, him being back.
Sure.
I thought the attack was believable. It's like, holy shit, this is like ruthless Ziggler. We haven't seen him since McIntyre put him down, which I think is a good thing. He comes back fresh. His promo that he cut later in the show, I fucking felt that. Because all of it made sense. It's like,
It should have been me.
yes, I love it because it's that fucking jealous heel who literally like, I for years was the guy, blah, blah. That should have been me. And it worked. It worked. It was
It
a good
worked.
on-the-fly move because originally Kofi KO was advertised, but he said he doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia anymore. So they gave a flip quick. This was a good on-the-fly
In
decision they
reserve.
did.
Here he
Yeah.
comes out, the old producer. Just
So those pieces
doing
of
his
those
thing.
things I liked, but yeah, I don't got much else.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird SmackDown for me. Very forgettable, in my opinion. But it is what it is.
Hit it then.
It's gotta be Kane. We're in the heat. Listen, there's a lot to get to, but I think the biggest thing we got to talk about is as a guy who showed up in the third hour to present the belt. I think that's probably the biggest one.
I'll start by saying that belt was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm not a big fan of, well, let me just get this, because Ben's listening at some point this week, so Ben, this is specifically for you. Mick Foley equals, get him off my TV, get him off my TV, get him off my TV. Every time that man introduces the new championship, it's absolute
I
hot
will
garbage.
say this, though. In terms of like his part of it, he got straight to the point. He didn't do that bad. Like, it was just the fact that when he unveiled that title, it was so ugly and the crowd booed. I felt, for the first time in a long time, I felt bad for Mick Foley because I'm like, this guy, like, honestly did nothing wrong. He just is presenting the ugliest championship in the history. It was like they took the belt that they gave to Braun at Saudi Arabia last year and wrote 24/7 on it.
Yeah, it looks like
that thing is fucking disgusting. It is repugnant. It is vile. Like, that is gross looking.
It looks like a watch battery.
I wouldn't even want to win that.
Nobody wants to win that.
You know where that belongs? In the trash.
Well, here's my biggest thing, and the people on Twitter are throwing shit at me left and right. But here's the real deal.
The real deal is the first champion.
Exactly. Which congratulations.
Well, he was the big deal.
Yeah, the big deal.
I don't know.
Whatever he was. But anyway, look. Here's what I really am trying to whittle down, and people are giving me shit about it, but I don't give a shit because I'm right so far. Look at all the segments that have happened. Not one segment has had any element of hardcore wrestling. It's literally hide and go seek. It's hide and go seek. It's just people running after each other. That's all it's going to be. There's I know they're going to be like, oh, they'll be in a ball pit and yes, I'll pop for that. Or yeah, they'll be in like different situations and yeah, that'll be fine. But the fact that it's 24/7 and it's just being like falls count anywhere, people are like, well, falls count anywhere implies that it's going to be weapons related, which again, you would think that, but the WWE does not think that way. They said 24/7 for a reason. They did not say hardcore. They did not whatever. They went out of their way to make sure they did not say weapons and all that stuff. It is literally the Benny Hill Championship. Like, that's exactly what it is. It's a Fitbit Championship. You might as well get your steps in. I mean, that's literally what you're doing. You're putting on your gear to go run after somebody in a place that is not the ring. The championship was won, get this, by leaving it in the ring and someone grabbing it, which to me was ridiculous to begin with, but I get it. It's to add the element of, like, capture the flag. But this, yes, and there is a positive to it, and everybody's like, there are potentials to it. And I agree, there are potentials. You could have everybody that's not on the show now on the show for run-ins.
Yeah, there's a very big positive.
It is. But it's just, you get to a point where I'm just like, the thing looks ugly, yes, we get over that eventually, or we won't, it doesn't matter. But the crux of the situation for me is everybody's like, oh, there will be. I'm like, no, there won't. You guys are being lied to. You guys are being conditioned to think it's going to happen. Now, maybe, just maybe, on a pay-per-view or a special event, maybe there'll be something hardcore. But the crux of this, the absolute minimal part of this, when you boil it down,
it's for cheap pop.
It's literally for just nonsensical bullshit where it's just like, we don't know how to finish this match. It showed it on SmackDown.
Oh.
It was just like, here's Carmella versus, Mandy Rose, which again, we'll want to see more of, but it's just like, here it comes. And it's just like, everybody, blah, 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 blah. Like, R-Truth's going to do a decent job with it, but
if you look at it, like, I will say, I fucking hate this shit. Everything you said is true. But in terms of entertainment, like, there's a lot of entertainment in there.
Sure.
Obviously, the way that R-Truth did it with the car, with Robert Roode on Raw, and then on SmackDown carrying the wig stuff, that kind of shit's not for me. Like, that, I didn't think that was great. But, like R-Truth, like, the promos he's cutting, like, in the middle of the woods before the show online, like, that stuff, like, again, I get it, but it's just, when I look at this, I'm trying to look at this from a long-term view. It's like, it's very short-sighted.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do
it's
stuff.
like, what have we been stressing? It's like, you got to build up your undercard, which, yes, this gets people actually on TV, but it's doing it in a comedic angle. Like, we're seeing EC3 and Mojo in a comedic angle. Does that mean now the only time they're going to be on TV is for these? Because the whole point is, like, instead of dedicating these, like, little pockets of time to this goofy shit, like, give me a 5-minute match between lower card people so we can build them. Like, stuff like that instead. But this is their solution to underutilizing talent, is just having a fucking hodgepodge where the Good Brothers and the B Team are fighting over the title and fucking, like people are slipping on banana peels and Drake Maverick's running around, like, trying to win it, and you got, like, whatever. It's just, like, you got random people showing up trying to, it's such a short-sighted, like, fix, and it's just, again, there's going to be entertaining parts. Like,
there will be.
Most of it entertained me, but it's just, if they do this every week, it won't be entertaining anymore.
And the other thing,
That's
too.
the reason why the hardcore title eventually went away.
Yeah.
Because the gimmick just runs out. And, like, maybe they're just doing it for, like, a quick fix right now, but I think it's putting a Band-Aid on your long-term issues once again, which they continue to do with everything. It's like, your long-term issue is developing these characters, not just having them go all the time. It's like, instead of doing this, let's try to build, like, lower divisions. Like, why can't your mid-card titles be like the wrestling titles and be the ones that are on TV? And those are the people you see wrestle mostly week to week, and the main event guys show up in the main event every other week or something. So it's more special. But instead, we have fucking Kofi wrestling 15 matches a week on every show and just overexposing him and just, I'm not showing nobody else. It's just, that's why it sucks.
I did have somebody on Twitter tell me, well, the hardcore championship was, funny all the time and all this stuff and like
How long was it?
And it was
How
comedy.
long was this the 24-hour hardcore thing actually around? Do you know? I didn't.
I mean, it started. You can look it up.
It wasn't a long time.
No, I believe
because the gimmick gets stale really quick.
If I have to guess, I would say that the gimmick would be right at the end of '98, almost '99, and it was merged with I think either the Intercontinental Championship or the European Championship with RVD. I think in Jeff Hardy in probably 2001 or 2.
Yeah.
So there's like a good span of 4 years essentially with it.
It's a short shelf life.
Yeah, it's
and even
not
that,
gonna-
this one won't go that long because it's just
Especially not with the hardcore
Well,
element.
exactly, because that's the thing. Is at least then, they were still booked hardcore matches.
Yeah.
But it was just like things could happen in between.
Sure.
I did love at the WrestleMania where Maven and everything going on with that.
Yeah.
That stuff was fun, but it's a short term thing, and just they have so many long term problems, and this is just a quick. Especially because they already have 12 championships, and now we're just adding yet another one. So we're gonna have this thing taking up so much of the show. That means even less of your the Raw Tag Team Champions are never on TV ever.
And those guys,
the Women's Tag Team Champs finally got back on TV this week, but they're not even on the show they're normally on, and they're involved in a 6-woman tag match. Then you have the U.S. title nowhere to be seen because Ray got hurt, but also Finn wasn't on TV, probably selling injuries, which is good. But it's just think about all these titles that weren't on TV and all the stuff you saw. So it's how we it's just too much.
I really hope that the tag titles get merged because that should happen. They should just have one set of tag titles.
Merge all
They should
those.
merge so many championships.
The
it's
world's,
ridiculous.
the women's, and the tag should all be one title, and the champions can float to both shows.
Yeah.
There's your fucking wild card.
Exactly.
Rule. So if Fox and USA want your biggest stars in each show in the fall, well, Brock Lesnar's the champ. He's on both shows. He's a champ.
Yeah,
that's how
fine.
you do it. Roman Reigns is your champ. He's on both shows. Like the fucking Viking Raiders Experience, who haven't been on TV in a couple weeks for some reason. They're the champs. They're on both shows. That's how you do it. Because then it's also you naturally get the rotation. It's now the Usos won, so now they're on both shows. So now it's Daniel Bryan and Rowan who are won, so now they're on both shows.
Exactly.
But I'm assuming that he's just going to be off TV until after Saudi Arabia, since he's definitely not going.
Yeah, it's just this whole thing really bothers me. This 24/7 thing. It's everybody's there's a lot of potential because of this, this, and this, which I agree. There is a lot of potential to it, but at the same time,
it's a
bad.
title made for our truth. Which again,
Yeah.
I enjoy our truth, but it's not sustainable.
How many times are we gonna have somebody sleeping in the back and we're gonna have the referee counting 1, 2?
Well, what if our truth is a power bottom? That's technically getting pinned, right?
Exactly. Who knows? You know what I mean? There's so many things that they're gonna be able to do. I get it. But after a while, it's going to be the same thing. And that's why it just bothers me.
You can only do fucking chase scenes so much before it gets old.
Yeah.
Falls
count anywhere. I get it. But have some matches for it. Don't just have it be run.
We'll see. Maybe they're this is an evolving thing.
Sure.
And like I said, I think short term it will be an interesting part of the show. A lot of people said it was their favorite parts of the show, which again, I think that's fine. I don't disagree with that. I'm just looking from a long-term standpoint. I think this is it's gonna do more harm than good in the long term.
Oh yeah,
to the
it's
rest
gonna
of your
kill.
show.
It's gonna assassinate so many characters.
Exactly, because it's gonna put so many characters stuck in this role
Yep.
where you're not gonna be able to take them seriously
Absolutely.
when they switch back. So
all right, well that's enough of that. Something else I wanted to bring up that it seems like a lot of people didn't even notice was that when Mick Foley came out after his promo or before his promo maybe. They said that the third hour of Raw is going to be different, and then the graphics changed.
They had a
did
darker look.
they had a darker look.
I don't mind this.
I didn't mind it.
Dark. Yeah, I think that's a positive. Why do we always say make stuff different?
Yeah.
Especially with Raw, it's the third hour obviously is always going to get the lowest ratings no matter what.
Right.
Because people are it's going to bed or kids not what it is what it is. It's supposed to the third hour. It's you're getting fatigued.
They're let's get Raw again.
Exactly.
Okay.
So why not make it different? Because maybe then there'll be people who maybe if they don't watch even the first couple hours, maybe I want to tune in for the last hour because this is where the stuff that interests me more. Maybe this is the Bray Wyatt hour,
sure.
Because this is the weird, the more mature hour, and I don't mind the way doing that. I think it's a way to make that third hour stand out, be something different, and actually be something that you care about, as opposed to now it's we usually have a couple filler feuds and then a shitty tag team main event. Which, by the way, shocker, another Raw tag team main event though. It didn't involve tag teams. Who cares?
It's a lot.
It was it's a no DQ match, but they still had to make tags and all that stuff. That just never makes sense to me.
There's a lot of referees and a lot of rules that are just not paying attention to what. It seems like so many things are going out there where I'm just like we've talked about. You build these rules in these little worlds, and you just throw them out the window. It's then why do we care? That's why we don't show up because you insult us.
Shit.
You keep doing it.
Poopy crap.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, yeah, of course. Reign Shane Ross segment was a complete waste of our time.
Yeah.
Bringing out Drew McIntyre to stand there for no reason. Complete waste of time. It's like, oh, no, they paid it off on SmackDown when he came out for 2 seconds and Claymore Roman. Great. No, it didn't. Why did he bring him out on Raw? Why did Shane give away his fucking dirty little secret that he was going to have McIntyre in his corner? Or would he be like, oh, I have Drew McIntyre, and then Drew McIntyre proceeds to do nothing and stand there? Like, waste of time.
They made The Miz look like
Everything
a bitch,
Shane
too.
McMahon is a waste of time.
When the Miz just stood there and was like, so we're not done? I'm like, dude, you just lost. You should beat the shit out of him. You should be doing whatever. It's like, I get it. They're going to say McIntyre's there to be as heavy, which, again, I understand that. But it doesn't make any sense. The Miz you just created the last 3-4 weeks doesn't care if there's a 7-footer in front of him, would have fucking attacked everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm pushing that from my memory because, once again, last night's Miz and Mrs. was super hot fire. They did a surprise party for him, and he came out in his underwear because he didn't know anyone was there. It was great. Zack Ryder's in it.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, this is good. That fucking show's better. Like, that's where I get my Miz fix. So anything that happens on the shows, I pretend like they don't happen.
There's a women's 6-man tag that got a 32X treatment for me.
That honestly, like in terms of 6-person tags, like
Stop it.
At least they set
it.
At least they set that one up and it kind of made
JC.
sense. I was fine with it.
No,
I'm digging the Alexa Nikki Cross stuff.
Nope.
It's very like Trish Mickey in a different sort of way. I kind of dig it.
Stop it.
I dig it.
Stop
Plus
it.
it involved fucking Lacey, so yeah.
Stop
no,
it.
that wasn't heat for me.
Big E came back, which we said already happened. Whatever. I'm not really thrilled about
He's
it.
back, but of course we have to do all the stupid shit with it.
Bailey is no longer a hugger. She's looking for the best yada yada, which I was like, good for her. But then I'm like, yeah, she's still a hugger. Whatever.
That was 32X for me. Even though I was watching it live, I just pretended like I was 32Xing as I did my work.
Yeah, well, whatever. And just there's a lot of things here I'm like, whatever. You know, it's just like the tag match, like you said, was fine with the women, whatever. It's not like anything great. Elias and Roman, again, was a rerun. And then, of course, we get to just like the end with like Mac was there.
Shane.
There's just so much shit.
Too much Shane everywhere. Like, who the fuck wants this much Shane?
Who wants it? You know who wants it?
Oh.
He's mine.
Like, the him and Miz feud, like, I really enjoyed up until Mania, and I enjoyed that in Mania, but everything since with Shane, it's just, he's involved in, like, so many fucking shows. He's fucking in every segment. He's involved, everybody in the world wants to be, like, it's just...
He's the best
lame.
in the world.
It's just, that's the most boring part of it for me at all. It's just, I don't care. I literally do not care.
Literally don't care.
Literally don't care.
I think we've hit enough of this crap because I don't think there's anything else we can talk about, honestly. And there's so much shit on this show, but it's just like, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I got nothing else that I really care to speak about.
I believe it is now time to get hopeful.
Glorious! You tease us with your hopes. I want to hear it.
All right. So a lot of people are out there going, Brock Lesnar with the briefcase? You got to be fucking shitting me. But here's what I thought about the other day. There was a couple people that were not in the Money in the Bank championship or the Money in the Bank contract match. 2 that were in there that should have been in there. But then there's one man specifically that I'm like, they're not really doing anything with. So Brock Lesnar has this whole thing where he's like, I'm going to come out and be like, I'm going to either beat up Seth Rollins or Kofi Kingston. And I'm doing my boombox and I'm doing this whole thing. And I'm like, I'm the baddest dude on the planet. And I've got a briefcase to just basically cherry pick my opportunity. But there is also something and someone that is lurking everywhere who also has a new t-shirt out, which was fucking awesome this week if you check it out on www.shop.com. So here's what I would like to see.
Ooh.
Brock Lesnar really has a long-standing feud that has never really had, in my opinion, a final ending with a man named Braun Strowman.
Okay, I'm thinking
We're not really doing anything. And I thought about it. Brock Lesnar was in that match because Braun Strowman wasn't in it. Sami Zayn obviously was the reason he got in the match, but you think about it, the only reason he was in that match and could do what he was going to do was because Braun couldn't meet him to stop him. So here's what I want. This is how you rebuild Braun Strowman, in my opinion. Braun waits for the first time that Brock Lesnar tries to cash in.
Okay.
And fucking disrupts Brock Lesnar's cash in.
Full circle.
Yes. Full circle, and he just grabs the mic and says, wherever you go, I go. And he literally is going to be, you ready for this? The cock blocker He's going to be the Brock cock blocker. Like, whatever you want to talk.
Brock blocker?
The block blocker. Like, that's what he is. He is the Brock blocker. He is going to stop every cash-in from Brock Lesnar. Every single time. Just have him do whatever he is doing against what he is. But he Brock blocks every single time. He comes out of nowhere. He's told he can't be in the fucking building. He just comes running in from the back and just beats this shit out of Brock. Exactly. That's all you got to do. He can do whatever it is, and he's just like, I'm not stopping till I get it. And he eventually beats Brock Lesnar for that briefcase and gets what he deserves last time around because that finicky bullshit at Hell in a Cell. That's what I would enjoy because I think just having him get out there and Brock block would be so much funnier. Like, he's doing nothing. It's the only one that Brock is even remotely afraid of. Maybe he shit his pants when he hears, bruh, like just think about how tiring it would be to have. So here's the bully picking on the two champions, but the guy who has the briefcase has a bully to bully him. Like, I would love that. That's like next level bullshit. I would love it.
WrestleMania.
Brock cock lock, whatever you want to call it.
I want to kiss you right now. That is fucking beautiful.
Brock,
I love
I can't
it.
even say it.
I'm into it. Hashtag I hope Nestle's hopes come true.
Yes.
That's
Hashtag
fucking beautiful.
Brock block. Telling you. It's hard to say because you want to say 50 billion things.
I like that.
But I was just like, that makes
sense.
so much more sense.
Which means there's no fucking
clue. If that happens, I'm telling you right now, this thing is fucking rigged. They all listen to it. They're all tapped in. That happens. There's no way they're going to happen.
That's good.
But that's good television.
Good. Ooh, it has a hashtag Braun guy.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
There you go.
Yeah.
The hope. It gets you fired up, right?
I like it.
I thought to myself, this is the only thing that makes me excited about it. So
I like it.
Yeah, 10 pull. Let's do this. All right, your turn.
Well, how do I follow that? I tug at the Mark's heartstrings.
Oh, boy.
So, mentioned him earlier. He had a moment of appreciation for our boy Finn Balor. Because he's the ultimate milky white baby face. We all love him and his beautiful abs, his billion-dollar smile.
Not what I thought you were going to say.
Like, he's a beautiful human. He took all the bumps for us. He died for our sins.
He's not Jesus.
He's our intercontinental champion. But you know what? There is a lot of truth when people say that Finn Balor's kind of boring right now, and it sucks. Like he's just a baby face, which is great. I love watching Finn Balor wrestle. Do it all day. He's gonna have a great match with Andrade at the Super Showdown. Maybe that's the one match I watch. There's a lot of potential with him. Like him and Ali could have some fun on SmackDown. Like there's some good stuff you can do with him. But Finn Balor isn't the youngest guy in the world either. He's been doing this a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, especially with his size, like his career is probably going to end sooner than some other people. So there's something that we haven't seen with him in WWE that I really want to see before he's done. I want to see a full-on main event level Finn Balor heel. And he probably needs some sort of stable to do that. So, maybe find some guys that you can do them. But I think there's just a nice way that you could use this with Kofi Kingston. Because I think Finn Balor, Kofi Kingston, we know the wrestling will be good. But I think like a different Finn Balor would be really good. And I think my hope is that the SummerSlam main event is Kofi Kingston defending his WWE Championship against Finn Balor, who at some point somehow is going to have a dastardly heel turn. Because we all love Finn. So you turn him, that's really going to fucking tear us up inside. It's going to break it up my heart when I see that. So I really want to do that. And I think that then he could pull out the demon gimmick because I think that would look cooler as a heel. And it's a side of Finn we've never seen. Maybe you throw in the Authors of Pain or something because, at this point, the club, they're just hokey guys fighting over a shitty trash heap belt. But
how dare you?
But that's my hope is I want Finn Balor to not only turn heel at some point, to face Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, and I want Finn Balor to win. I want to see what a heel Finn Balor looks like at the top of the mountain. Hashtag JC knows. Hashtag JC's hopes come true. That's what I want. I told you what I want.
That's what I want. That's what I want. It is now time to give our comeback. Each week, we give somebody our award, at least a special shout out, if you will. For me, I didn't think I was going to do this because I'm not a big fan of this man. Oh,
I hope you do it.
I'm going to give it to Dolph Ziggler.
You're here to show the world.
Yeah, I was surprised by it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make any goddamn sense until he started talking.
But that's how you do it.
Right. And so, you know what? A little bit of viciousness from it. The problem is, here's the big hurdle for me. And here's what I appreciate. They didn't play the fucking song. They didn't do anything with this, like, I'm here to show the, like, whatever. I know we're going to get the record scratch and the whole thing, like, whatever. I hate that fucking bullshit. But I would almost rather him just not dress the way he normally dresses and just find another way to do it, because it's just like the presentation on him is so old, in my opinion, that it's just like.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree with that.
So like when I was watching him beat up Kofi Kingston, I was like, this is a really good Intercontinental Championship. I mean, the WWE Championship feud. You know, it's like that's what it is to me, where I look at it and I'm like, it doesn't get me excited to the point of like, this is a main event thing. But Kofi Kingston's in it, and I'm like, I'm in.
I think it's a good short-term feud.
Yeah, if it's just for the Super Showdown, I'm all right with it to get us to where we need to be. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? He's collecting probably $500,000 a year, not doing anything. So it's like,
More than that.
you know, it's just like this guy's sitting there probably wishing he could do whatever. And then, of course, they just interject him in because he's like a plug-and-play kind of guy. So when I watched it, I was like, you forget how good he is. I thought he kind of ate the scenery up a little bit too much in the promo, but I appreciated it because it was different from what I've seen him do. So I wasn't necessarily hating on it, and I was watching it going, this guy's done nothing. Now he's doing something, and it was something that he hasn't done. So I was almost like, for as much as I wanted to shit on it, I was still going, you know what? They still got me. Then that's a sign of a good wrestler. It's a sign of a good performer. I was like, you know what? They had Kofi get wheeled out, so clearly they built that portion up. And then he comes out and cuts that like whiny-ass promo, which, again, he overacted just a smidge. But it was what it was, and it made me go, you know what? I'm going to watch it. Like, I am going to watch it. So kudos to Dolph Ziggler for dragging me, kicking and screaming through this entire thing. But I give him my comeback because if there is anybody to really, truly give a comeback to a guy that literally wasn't on the show, I'm giving it to Dolph Ziggler.
It's a good comeback.
There you go.
My comeback is going to a man who finally, Cesaro got his wish and got new music. And not only that, Cesaro quietly racking up singles wins.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the way this did this. It's like he goes in the back, like he has been doing, picking on someone who's also really banged up. Cesaro taking advantage of an opportunity. I liked it. And I like the way they did the match because Ricochet sounded like this is what I want to see. If you're making a guy compete the next night after a ladder match, like either you do what you do with Finn where he's not on TV because he's banged up, or you do what you did with Ricochet, like he's not supposed to be, but Cesaro goes him into a match, and then you can clearly tell in the match he's banged up, and it's a big reason why Cesaro wins. But it also makes Cesaro look great. So that's why he gets my comeback. He got his new music.
I couldn't even tell what it was, though. It's I need to hear more of it.
So at first, it started off a little weak, but I think overall it's good. And like they stuck with like the green theme they had started doing with him. So I just think it's a good way to like represent him because he's away from the Sheamus thing now. So it's like you gotta do it.
Okay, there it is, folks.
That's my comeback. God damn it! Know what I just did?
What? You ruined it.
I had
didn't
the
you?
Double or Nothing stuff up, and I accidentally just closed.
That's where Cap goes. Good night, everybody. Cap hates any
Yeah, we're
type
into
of-
the big finish.
We're into the big finish this weekend, this Memorial Day weekend. There is going to be a little shindig thrown in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you were there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I hate you because this is going to be so much fun for wrestling fans and so many cool things at StarCast. There's so many cool things that I'm like, can I even tell myself I'm going to just buy the package on Fight? I can't do it, but $59.99 to watch this pay-per-view is a little too rich for my blood.
Yeah, and it's on Saturday, I realized, so I won't be watching.
So, but before we get to that, is there anything that you're looking forward to for Raw, SmackDown, or anything else? Because for me, I'm looking at it going, I hope Samoa Joe.
Nope.
Here's Samoa Joe makes Dominic defend the United States Championship, chokes his ass out in 3 seconds, and it's over. That's all I want. Not gonna happen, but that's an additional nestle hope. Like I'm all in for this. I think this would be great. No pun intended. Like I want this thing to be just slither around him, choke him out, and be done with it, and let's move on. That's all we need. That's the exclamation point of this bullshit. So I don't know what else is going to be advertised. As we said, usually the weekend they throw up some hodgepodge graphic, and that's what it is. I really hope Brock doesn't say who the guy is.
That's the only thing I'm looking forward is like him not to reveal us, but like just like another way for them to troll us. I hope they troll us. Troll us, please. Because the thing that scares me is originally an advertised match was Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the title.
Yeah.
So he comes out and be like, I'm just going to have this. So like, no, because I'm like, when I want him to cash that thing in, I want it to be later in the year, and I want it to be for the WWE title.
Oh, yeah.
I want Brock away from that Universal Championship. It's time for other people to have that Universal Championship. So
It's going to be good. All right, so we're going to go into something I like to say, we don't necessarily do so, Cap. You can pull off to the exit early because now we're going to go into double or nothing picks.
Double or nothing. And the reason why this happened is because I got all excited because the former Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, who is now the Perfect 10, Sean Spears, is the number 10 entry, and they're doing apparently it's a 21-man casino battle royal. That's actually for their title? Damn.
No, it's for a championship shot.
No, an AEW championship match. Okay.
Yes. Let's throw the lines
So
here
who's
for people who are
AEW
AEW
champion?
guys.
Who's the
There is
champion?
no AEW champion yet.
So
JC has never watched Being the Elite, most likely.
No, I've seen
and it doesn't really get into the indie scene very much
I
anymore.
know like some of these people.
So he's
Trent
not
Beretta's
he's
still
not
wrestling?
he's okay. So this is
Do they still Mark Sherman's gimmick? Best friends. That sure as hell sounds like team friendship to me.
I'm just gonna say for all the hardcore wrestling fans out there, I apologize in advance for what JC may say next because he does not watch this stuff. So he likes betting. He's a degenerate gambler, and so is the rest of the Jobber Knocker crew, especially TJ. Those two love this shit, so this is why we're doing it. Go ahead.
So they're not gonna crown a champion at this.
We don't know.
Well, then none of these matches say that for the.
We don't know yet.
So they're naming a number one contender before they name the champion.
Maybe the Hangman Page match versus Pac was supposed to be for the AEW championship. I don't know.
He's not on the. So that's not even listed here. But so we'll start there. Who do you think he's gonna face?
Really? I think that there is an absolute big deal here, but I think they're going to save.
O'Neal?
No.
Okay.
I think they're going to save their bullets here for a lot of things, but I will say.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna say maybe it'll be Joey Ryan versus Hangman Page because I think that's an easy way to get it going. I think a lot of people love that entire feud and them being the Elite. Like they already kind of fixed it, but I think it's another thing that's like plug and play as well. And people love it, so I will say that's it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hangman Page versus CM Punk.
Oh,
Why
boy.
not? I saw like the internet would lose their minds. It's not going to happen, but there it is. There's my pick. And I think CM Punk wins because he's a fucking sore loser. So no way he'd do it if he wasn't winning. So we're going to start with a tag team match. A lot of tag team matches on the show.
Yes, because tag team wrestling can main event in this
Best
one.
friends, not Mark Sherman and Scotty Slade. It's actually Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta versus Angelico and Jack Evans, who apparently don't have a name.
You are going to, if you love high flying, you will love Angelico and Jack Evans. They are fucking phenomenal. If you ever watched Lucha Underground, those guys are fucking amazing, especially in Mexico as well. Just a special shout out to them. Best friends will most likely end up winning.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the team that actually has a team name. Give me the best of friends that anyone could have.
Best of friends. I don't have to write this down, do I?
I don't care. This next one is going to be fun for me to say. A 6-woman tag team match. Oh, boy. I apologize if I get these names wrong because I've never heard of anyone in this match. We have Aja Khan, Yuka Sakazaki, and Emi Sakura versus Hikaru Shida, Riho, and Ryo Mizunami, who is the only one that doesn't have a linkable page.
All right.
I'm going to pick the team that has Emi Sakura. So, Khan, Sakazaki, and Sakura.
I don't know. I can't see any of these.
Just say first team or second team.
I'm going to say first team.
All right, we're in agreement. Next up is a singles match. Kip Sabian, also Wikipedia list.
That's the pregame show,
versus
the buy-in.
Sammy Guevara.
So Sammy is always around here in the New England area, sometimes doing shows. So I will say I'm gonna pick Sammy. Plus,
Yeah,
I
me
like his
too,
gimmick. So
because he has a Wikipedia page, I'll pick him.
I like his
Next
gimmick.
up is a tag team match. Holla, holla, holla. For the AAA World Tag Team Championship.
Wow, that's a main event. You're just blowing right to it. All right.
Oh, it is? Well, I'm just going in order, like you say. The Young Bucks, who are the champs, versus, not to be confused with Pinata dealing luchas, the Lucha Bros of, I thought he was Pentagon. He's Penta L0M and Phoenix.
Oh my God, this is embarrassing.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. Give me the Young Bucks.
I'm gonna go with Penta and Phoenix because
Sure.
it just makes more sense.
All right, next up we have a 3-way women's match. Britt Baker, Nyla Rose, and Kylie Ray. I'm going to pick Kylie Ray.
I'm gonna pick Nyla Rose.
I don't even know who that is, so sure. Next up, we have a 6-man tag team match. SoCal Uncensored, the making up of Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, versus the Strong Hearts of Seema T-Hawk and L. Lindaman I'm going to go with SoCal Uncensored because I've actually heard of them.
Wow, you're fucking killing it right now.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm going to say that because that SCU went over to China to have this match earlier, not this particular match, but they went over there they went over and got over in that particular matchup. I'm going to say that the SoCal lose and that the
Strong Hearts?
the Strong Hearts win, baby.
Not the Rebel Hearts, the Strong Hearts.
I think they're going to win.
Okay, next up, I've heard of both these guys, Cody versus Dustin. I'm all for this. This should have been at WrestleMania a few years ago. It didn't happen. Now we're getting it. Cody's winning.
I would hope Cody's winning. Let's put it that way.
Next up, we have a singles match rerun. Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho.
How dare you? This could be the main event.
It's a fucking rerun, so I'm going to be authentic to what we are. It's a rerun. I'm going to pick Kenny Omega. I don't fucking know.
I'm going to say Chris Jericho.
All right, cool. 21-man Casino Battle Royal for an AEW World Championship match, even though there is no champion. This makes no fucking sense. Sonny Kiss versus Brandon Cutler versus Ace Romero versus Glacier versus Brian Pillman Jr. versus Sunny Days versus MGF. Joey Janela,
you fuck.
Dustin Thomas. What did I say?
MGF.
Oh, I can't read. Billy Gunn, Jimmy Havoc, Michael Nakazawa, Jungle Boy, Isaiah Cassidy something, Mark Quinn, Luchasaurus.
That guy's great.
Actually hilarious. Versus Sean Spears versus TBA versus TBA versus TBA versus TBA.
I'm going with MJF, baby. The only
I've seen that guy. I kind of liked him because when I watched the thing, he cut like a good promo. Like,
Yeah.
He's very Miz-like.
Yep.
But you know what? I'm just going to fucking go on brand. 10, 10, 10. He's not going to win, but give me Sean Spears. Why not?
Sure.
I think that's it.
All righty.
So got CM Punk, Cody Rhodes.
Did you get all of them?
I think
Did you
so.
get all these matches?
I think so.
All right. All right.
Yeah, so there you go. You have that to look forward to. CM Punk coming back to wrestling. You heard it here first. And if it doesn't happen, well, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so.
What is the absolute possibility of John Moxley showing up? It's in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
it's the last thing you
in
see.
that Battle Royal.
I think it's the last thing
Or
you
if
see.
he come, yeah, I don't think he's gonna start there unless if he does get one of those like part-time things which Pac was gonna do. I see him just running the circuit like a lot of these guys do, you know, just kind of a little taste of everything. Maybe eventually he signs there or something, but I think he'd be a good like last entrant in the Battle Royal as like a shock, and you know doesn't win, but.
I think they're going to wait to the very, very last end. I think if it's Kenny and it's Jericho, it would be nice to have Jericho win, get his whole, thing. And then, of course, like, there's, John. I think that'd be great. I think the Mox would be great. I think it's a great ending because then it gives you that moment of like, holy shit, I'm typing my Twitter up and blah, 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 blah. So I think they're going to be looking for that buzzworthy moment. And I think that's going to be it.
Who else you got? Who else is going to pop up now?
Swagger's supposedly coming.
Swagger?
Swags
By
is
the way,
showing
his
up.
fucking promo after his...
I'm boned up or whatever he said. I was
great.
like, holy shit.
It's amazing. It's like you let a guy talk. He's actually a good talker.
Yeah. Didn't have to have the lisp.
Jack Swagger, I always had an appreciation of him. Like, he was never like my favorite or anything, but like I always appreciated him.
Yeah.
That Real Americans run was so much fun. Ugh.
So hopefully you enjoy this weekend of Double or Nothing, and you let us know. I may or may not be watching it based on the price tag alone, but I am going to support it one way or the other. Anyway, we hope you enjoy it, and we'll be back next week with more Jobber Knockery.
No.